What's going on, Blue Crew? Like I said in my video from earlier today on where to farm the best non-DLC items, I had a full takedown build for you guys, true takedown at that. This build is crazy with the anarchy and the ineffable knowledge. They just stack the damage so well together that I didn't even need to use a face slam or face cast in this build. Normally that's what I go for. There was no need in this build. If you do like this video, like, share, and subscribe. But let's get into the video, guys. Okay, welcome back, Blue Crew. Like I said, true takedown, as you can see to the right. I'm just here to show you how this build performs in the takedown. Someone said they were looking for a level 57 takedown build, so I thought I'd put one together. Thought I'd do it with one of the new guns while I was at it, just to show you that they are viable in the takedown. Hopefully we get a new takedown here soon so we can try some new builds and see what the new elements we're going to have to deal with in that new takedown are. This build mostly focuses on the consecutive hits from the ineffable knowledge. That in conjunction with the anarchy and its skill create some crazy damage numbers, and they make it where you can just run through the whole takedown with no problem. The reason that I'm killing these guys right here is so I can get those stacks of anarchy, get that damage. I made a full video on how you can farm this area and a good way to get some non-DLC legendaries. I'll leave a link up here. I also want to give a big shout out to Okatsu, who helped me with my music on this video. He gave me some great tracks that I was able to lay on the background, and I think they were just perfect for this. Here's the track now. Tell me what you guys think. Go check out his YouTube channel. Subscribe to him. He makes really good music. Another thing I did was increase the accuracy, because the more that you shoot and the more the anarchy stacks that you get, the worse your accuracy becomes with the anarchy. So I increased my accuracy to pretty much I can use it like a sniper if I wanted to hit people. And I really like that playstyle with this gun. I think it works out really well. As you can see, I'm not having any problem at all with the takedown. Usually the harder things, it seems like the harder things for most people aren't the actual bosses like the Kraken. As you're going to see right now, the Kraken wasn't really a problem. I just kind of wiped him out really fast. The actual problem people have are like the bridge and Wotan himself. Everything else usually goes pretty smoothly. The Kraken he's a mini boss, he's not very hard. The Valkyries are mini bosses, but I usually don't have too many problems with them. But one of the major things that I had problems with was the bridge. So I actually am going to have the bridge clip in here so you can see my whole bridge run to see that I really just had no problem at all. I just grab an enemy, lock everybody down, shoot, and they all die. It's really easy to use, really effective. I'll have this save file in my Discord. Jump in there, say hi to everybody. I got a lot of people in there now. Grab that save file. If I was you, I'd stick around because I usually try to come out with more builds and more save files. And people share their save files in there too, so you never know what you can find. Just ask around. We're trying to become a community and help each other out. And that's the whole reason in me creating that Discord, is for us to become a community. And I'm glad it's finally happening. So like I was saying earlier, I was wondering about a new takedown. It's been a while since we need a new takedown at this point. We need a new challenge of some type. And I'm wondering when they're going to actually introduce a new one. I know they want to make more invincible bosses because that's their style of, more raids because that's their style of invincible bosses in this version. So I was just wondering, when are we going to get the next one? I've seen a lot of speculation from other YouTubers, but no one knows for sure when we're going to get the next one. I'm curious to know what you think. Leave me something in the comments, just letting me know what you think when the next one's going to be and what it's going to be or where it's going to be. I was really hoping for Cthulhu from the DLC 2, Love, Guns, and Tentacles. Maybe it just still happen, you know, the DLC's fresh out. Hopefully it does, because I would love to fight him as the end of a raid boss. It would be so much fun. So if any of you guys watching my video have used any of my save files before, you'll see that I don't have all of my Guardian rank maxed out. I just have it enough to have all my skill trees full, and that could be one of the reasons that this build does so much damage, is because I do have all of my, they're not capstones, but my abilities from my Guardian rank. In the save file, you will be able to get those also, because you will get my save file. So it should work exactly the same as it works for me, for you. So like I said, I'm going to make sure I actually show you my full bridge run so you can see that most of the time I don't actually have to phase grasp anybody, because the damage from anarchy and those stacks kill everybody. But once I do grab them, I get extra corrosive damage or extra shock damage. I have two different versions of the anarchy equipped right now. But like I said earlier, I didn't need a phase slam or a phase cast. This gun does so much damage without it. There was no need in getting it. I may make a boss kill, like a boss kill version of this later on, and with that, it'll make it probably two-shot bosses once you build your anarchy stacks up and go to a boss and kill them. But this version is for general mobbing, to build up the damage to make it to a boss and to just wipe the boss out once you get there. With the actual consecutive hits anarchy, you probably could get your damage way higher than the damage I get here. But as you can see, my aim is not the best in the world, so I would lose that damage very often, unless I was doing something to increase the elemental damage over the dot over time effect on my enemies. That would keep it going. But the way that I'm running this right now, I wouldn't be able to do that. But there's ways I could tweak it to where that would work and increase my damage even more with that. Okay guys, now it's time for Wotan himself, the big bad. I want you to just see how fast this man health and shields drop. This build, this gun is just incredible. And again, like I said, with the ineffable knowledge, they work so well together. I am so excited to see all the crazy builds that we're going to get out of this. So I totally thought I messed up right there and I was gonna die. So surprised when I didn't. And that's one half down. Remember how I was telling you I can use it as a sniper? I'm just gonna stay as far away as I can from him at this point. And there it is, takedown confirmed. Alright guys, right now we're going to go ahead and get into the build so you can see what I did to make this build work so well. Okay, welcome back Blue Crew. Let's go over the build. So I'm using two different anarchies here. I'm using this one, the unlimited anarchy with 20 shots that gives corrosive damage, and I'm using a deluxe with 12 shots that gives you corrosive damage. I also have an abundant Stark Krakatoa equipped and a lob. I never use these two, but if I needed to, I have a shotgun here which would help. But you do so much damage with these two because of the way that anarchy stacks, and anarchy stacks with the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge. So you do more and more damage each time you hit somebody after you have max anarchy stacks. The damage increase is incredible because we all know that the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge, it is multiplicative. It doesn't add to the increase you get from everything else. So say I maxed out my anarchy stacks, then I get 1% increased overall damage, 2%, 3%, 15% turns to 20%, and that's how your 35%, that's how your damage increases so much with this build. I'm using a transformer. It has extra corrosive. It is only level 53. I found plenty of 57 ones with no element from this rare spawn event, or what is it called, the vending machine event, excuse me. But I haven't found one with an actual element. It would have been nice, but I didn't find one. But as you've seen, didn't really matter. I could use this one with no problem. I'm using an actual Phase Zerker mod for this. I don't use Phase Zerker very much anymore at all, but this one had really good stats for what I needed with that weapon damage and that shotgun damage to increase it more. I'm using this just for the anointment, for the shock damage. For the takedown, that shock damage is going to be very important. Getting into the build in the mythical salt tree, guys. 4 points into do harm. I think I added these points because I just needed to go farther down the tree. It's not that I necessarily needed them. I could have put it in reload speed, but I don't really need it because when I'm using this one, it actually shoots 12 shots. So I don't need to switch as much as I do with this one. It's only like 4 shots on this one. I get actual 12 shots for some reason on this one because of the magazine size. So yeah, violent tapestry, extra effect chance, 3%. It's always nice seeing that I'm using a kinetic version of the anarchy. Restless, just for that cooldown rate, help me have my action skill up as much as possible. Transcend for that extra critical damage and accuracy, because the more you actually stack anarchy stacks, the worse your accuracy gets. So that's actually important this time, the accuracy. I use Ascendant because I usually use Stillness of Mind, and when you use Ties to Mind, Stillness of Mind together, it actually creates a crazy damage multiplier. So I think it's a really good synergy between those abilities. Laid Bare and Wrath for that extra damage if I have somebody grasped. I'm using Ties to Bind, so I'm going to have people grasped all the time. And I'm using Remnant, some of my Remnant orbs as you've seen in the video. kill people before I even have a chance to attack them. So Remnant Orb is always one of my go-to abilities. Avatar to double cast. Okay, nothing else could be said about that. I got 1 point from Anima from my class mod and 1 point iPad in there. I needed to go far enough down to get to Ties of Bind, and that's where I decided to put the ability. Handling and accuracy. I needed more accuracy. As you've seen in the video, I use this thing as a sniper almost sometimes. I can shoot from far away and just pick people off. Infusion for the converted damage. I have to have infusion because I have a kinetic version of the anarchy, and I need it just to get my damage type out. Tempest for those 5 points to get that elemental damage and that shock damage. So Dread is actually pretty important in this build. I'm going to have people grasp all the time. This way I don't actually have to reload. And I know you're probably like, oh, well, you're using anarchy, why not reload? I grab a group of 7 people and kill them in 2 shots. So I get more stacks that way than I do from actually reloading. So I went with that method. In the Brawl tree, 2 points in the Root to Rise for some more health. I always max out personal space. This thing is a monster when it comes to adding extra damage to your builds. Clarity, just so I could have some health regen. I'm using Helping Hands for some damage reduction. Maxed out Samsara, so when I do cast that action skill, I'm constantly getting my life back. Helps me stay alive a lot more. Arms deal for extra splash damage and splash damage reduction. And that is the whole build, guys. As you've seen, makes a takedown easy. Wanted to make one for the Takedown Shakedown event happening right now. Hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. As always, Blue Crew, stay medicated, stay elevated. Till the next video. Peace.